Welcome to Golf Weekly. I'm your host, Daniel Cort, and I am joined this week by a really good friend of mine, Matt Peebles. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate you having me.
I'm sure some of our viewers have seen Matt before. He's done a number of segments with Talk of the Town and some various other programs. Matt is with the Hilton Head Lakes Group, Director of Sales and Marketing. Is that right? Or Director of Sales?
Director of Sales, that's correct.
Director of Sales. And Matt, what most people don't know about Matt, and I've known Matt again, like I said, for years, Matt is a former golf pro. So he knows this business inside and out. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. I wanted to start, though, by plugging my company, which is RPI Media. We have a print publication, Ideal Living, and this month we are featuring our Fairway Living Directory of Preferred Communities, which Matt happens to be one of those. We did an article on Hilton Head this month, and there they are. Hilton Head Lakes is right in there in the Hilton Head feature, and you can get this magazine by going to fairwayliving.com and just request a copy, and we'll send you a complimentary issue. What we basically do is we identify affluent Northeast and Midwest markets where retiree buyers are coming, and we help developers like Matt go up there to meet these prospects and get face-to-face with them. Matt's been doing our shows for a number of years with great success, and they just did 9 or 10 real estate shows with us January through March in those markets, and are already making some sales from those. Matt, let's jump right in and talk about what's going on with Hilton Head Lakes since you guys acquired, which was formerly Tradition.
Yeah, we acquired Tradition in December of 2010 and immediately went to work on well, not only trying to rebrand the community with our name and logo, but getting the golf course back open. Rich Maxfield, who was the superintendent there, he was maintaining it, but he was kind of by himself when it was in receivership. So we continued our relationship with Rich, and he's doing a great job. And we've got the golf course, I'd say about 90% where we want it now. We are running it as a public golf course, which we felt like was the right business decision to do. And hopefully, I mean, we're running close to 100 rounds a day there.
Is that right?
And it's doing very well, and we hope it'll even do better next year. But it's a great spot to come out and play.
And it's a Tommy Fazio layout. Tommy is Tom Fazio's son.
His nephew.
Nephew.
Yes,
okay.
yes. I think Tom. I was a pro at a Fazio course in Wilmington, North Carolina, for several years, and I think Tom's pretty much retired now. But Tommy, just from what I understand, has recently done a couple of golf courses for Donald Trump, and so it's, you know, he's George Fazio's son, I believe.
Gotcha.
Is correct.
Yeah, the Fazio name's starting to pop up everywhere now, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. They're good at what they do.
It's in the family heritage, I think. Well, and I've played, which was formerly Tradition. It's funny, I'll get a text from a buddy every now and then that'll say, hey, we're going to go down to Tradition and play today. And I'm like, come on, guys, we got to start getting this right. It's Hilton Head Lakes now, the golf club at Hilton Head Lakes, I believe.
That's correct.
And you guys have done a phenomenal job of, you know, the beautiful water entrances there, the towers that you changed, which again were formerly Tradition, to signify your logo and who you are. But the golf course itself, again, I've played there, gosh, over a dozen times at least, and it's just a really good track. I mean, if you push that all the way back, you better bring your big stick and your long irons because it stretches out. But it's also very open and fair. You know, you can be a little bit off center with your accuracy and still have a good time out there.
Yeah, it's any time you run a golf course, you know, it's a public golf course. You know, you don't want to beat people up, but yeah. So it's very forgiving, if that's the right word I'm looking for. But if you drop all the way to the rear end of it, man, it's a bear. And
it is.
It always seems to be a little windy out there too. It makes it even more difficult. But it's a good track, and you know, we've got some more work to do to it to get it to where we want it. But it's shaping up nicely.
And speaking of work, I was at your grand opening for your clubhouse, which would be on the I guess your south side, the other side of 278.
Yes.
That would be your lake side of the community.
That's correct.
Matt, they had a grand opening to kick off the foundation of their new clubhouse over there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we officially broke ground at the end of December, and the building is under roof now. It will be one of the few facilities in this entire area where we can bring 300 or 400 people in for an event, such as a wedding or a banquet, and we've already got a tremendous amount of interest in when we do open it, and it's scheduled to open in September, not only for our residents to use, but the building will have a huge ballroom upstairs, fitness center, 6,000-foot fitness center downstairs, multiple pools, a private beach.
Wow.
And so our property owners, I mean, we're building it way ahead of schedule. But in these times, you better have your amenities done up front, because people are still nervous that they're going to make the wrong decision. And when that building's there and in place, there's no more fear that we're not going to do it.
That's right. It shows that the developer is following through with all those beautiful renderings that we see when a community is in its infancy stage.
Yeah, renderings are renderings, and when the economy was hot and people, it really didn't matter. Now, they're cautious, and so we are building it ahead of schedule, and I think our property owners understand that we're going to try to do some outside events there, again, such as weddings, to show people what we're doing, and we think there'll be quite a few sales made by hosting some events of that nature.
Well, I look at your community, and in terms of location, some of the things that our company, in doing this 15 years myself, some of the things that retiree buyers or investment buyers even were always looking for, one of the top 3 things was value, weather and climate, and taxes, and you've got all 3 of those. You combine that with your location, the fact that you have golf, you have water, you're just minutes from 95 and the airport, but you could be in Hilton Head, Beaufort, or Savannah in just a matter of minutes. You guys really are the complete package when you look at your values and your quality of living.
We think so. I mean, when I moved down here from North Carolina, I was super excited, because it's always, better than anybody, it's always about location in real estate, and probably always will be. And people, when they make that decision to relocate, they are looking for shopping, hospitals, restaurants, climate, lower taxes, airports. We got all of that, and we're right in the middle of it. And we just got started when the economy came to a screeching halt, but we came through it with flying colors now, and everything in there is paid for, which is a great situation to be in. Yeah, it is, and we don't beat our chest about it, but it makes you feel comfortable, and I think it makes our prospects comfortable as well, to know that we don't have a big bank note to pay back.
No question.
And subsequently, we've been spending a lot of money this year, enlarging the lake system, getting the clubhouse built, the new front entrances, the new model park is open now, and we were swamped Sunday. So things are starting to happen again, and as this economy moves forward, we're going to be fine.
Yeah, and there's no question about it. We've got a few minutes left. Moving on real quickly back into golf. We had Kevin King here a few weeks ago. We've got Jim Ferguson, who's coming in here in our next segment. These are guys who work for a living, but have used their golf as a real instrument to be successful in their careers outside of golf. Being a head pro for 12 years and having a very successful career in real estate sales also, as kind of an add-on to your golf career. Talk a little bit about how your golf helped you go on and further your career as a successful businessman.
Well, I think when I did my apprenticeship in Pinehurst, we were at the Country Club in North Carolina. It's a great club. It was a very busy place, and it was a pretty well-heeled clientele, and they were somewhat demanding. And one thing I've learned, it helped me tremendously in working with people, which is what we do now and what I did then. I've always, a lot of my friends that used to be golf pros are in real estate, and they all do pretty well, because if you can do, be a head professional and do a good job at it, you got to be personable, and it's always a good second step to get in real estate if that's what you choose to do. And it worked out real well for me. I'm happy I made the decision. I miss teaching kids a little bit. But other than that, it's a great thing to do.
Well, I think you found your niche. But I've known you a long time, Matt. Couldn't be a more genuine, friendly guy that I've ever met. But it's great also have you as a client, and get out and play a little golf with you sometime.
Absolutely, man. I'd love to do that. I just need a few shots. I know how you
about
play.
That. Matt, thanks so much for being our guest here today.
Thanks for having me on, Daniel.
And we'll check you out at Hilton Head Lakes here real soon.
Sounds great.
Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Jim Ferguson with Charter One Realty to tell us a little bit about something exciting that happened to him last year. Stay with us.